Well, I want to start off with an opening statement, so bear with me. We are a fractured nation.
We need to apply the concept of kintsugi to our nation to bring back the fractured pieces and make them better than what they were before.
We should have been able to negotiate a federal constitution that has what I call an escape clause.
Hello, do you know your history? Yeah. We helped create Malaysia.
So why is Kedah still poor? It is the second poorest state in the country.
The richness of that diversity is so important because you get different experiences and you also learn how to be accepting of differences and to accommodate that.
Corruption has caused the people to choose the wrong kind of people to form the government.
To move forward is to understand our history, to understand who we are.
God has a reason why He has made us Malaysians. He has a reason why He has made us Malaysian.
This is the time of day where there is a sunset and it promises a sunrise tomorrow. And the most beautiful thing is that life is about 2 days. Today and that day when we will meet our Creator, and we live between these 2 days. Now watch this. What is happening is that we talk about a country, we talk about living with what I call fault lines. These fault lines we see here as deep fractures on the walkway represent different races and have been present for nearly 67 years since independence in 1957. And you can see here how fractured this pathway is. No one has bothered to repair this beautiful scenic walkway, and you got Malaysians and foreigners who come here every day to enjoy health and life. It is an example of what is happening in a country that is fractured by race and religion fault lines, and we pretend and we walk over it and we don't bother to heal it. This is why we are so fractured in our national character and culture of diversity. Now today is a very special day because we are doing a series called Quo Vadis Malaysia, which means a Latin phrase for where are you going, Malaysia? You know, as parents, very often we tell our children, we ask that same question, not to be inquisitive, but we want to know that they are going to a safe place and they are coming home safely. And this is important for a nation like Malaysia. And so I started this series called Quo Vadis Malaysia, interviewing some personalities which have played an important part past, seeing the direction of the country, and some new people with, some fantastic ideas who are focused on taking Malaysia to a better place. And today is no exception. But I want to start off with an opening statement, so bear with me. We are a fractured nation. And when I say fracture, I mean as a medical man, as a surgeon myself. There are different types of fractures, and fractures can actually cause an injury to the bone. It gets fractured. There can be just cracks or breaks in the bone. And sometimes if they are broken in 2 or 3 places, we call it a comminuted fracture. But these comminuted fractures can sometimes take time to heal. But there are also other types of fractures which are called compound fractures. And what happens is when those pieces break through the surface of the skin, and we can literally see blood and bone. Now, in the very same context of fractures, and I talk about fault lines. When you talk about the life of a nation, there are fault lines, and these fault lines are very much similar to the geological fault lines, when there are tectonic shifts, and they can result in earthquakes of causing damage and tragedy through tsunamis, through flooding. And these fault lines are very much caused by different races in different regions in this part of the world. Now, what has happened is that when these fault lines of different races, when they cause a breakthrough through the skin, they're surfaced, they can result in tragedy. And in Malaysia, we have been part and parcel of that tragedy, which we all know and remember on May 13, 1969. And so when that happened in the very heart of the city, in the capital of this country, Kuala Lumpur, the needs and the intelligence of a doctor was summoned. Batu Pahat is a place that I served, and on the 16th of October 1980, I saw bloodshed myself. I'm the guy on call. It was religious fanaticism by fundamentalists who came down, Muslim fundamentalists. They didn't go and attack like 1969 Chinese and Malays. This is Malays hitting where the security of the city is, which is the police station. And they slaughtered, and I'm here in the hospital, in the operating theater, spines ripped open, arms chopped off, all because of these fanatics that came and took over. You know, I was under police escort for 2 weeks, and I was looking after these guys who were shot. They killed, I think about 8 of them. So I have seen what religious extremism can do. Fanatics. 2 Muslims among 3,000 Islamic refugees from Cambodia have infiltrated into the country. The new wave of fundamentalist extremism in Batu Pahat. Okay, 43 years ago. What's happening now, we don't know. So what I'm saying is that a lot of this people don't know, but it happened. And I was a guy on call. And it's horrendous because, my own friend, very close friend, Rohana, who was working in the police station, her hands were just chopped off. The arm was gone. And she's screaming on the phone, "Doctor, help me." So what I'm trying to say is that I've seen it. We have lived it. We know it, but we won't own it. We won't say it.